YouTube, Instagram, all the social medias of Yogi Chris, captain of IMC Nation here at the heart of IMC Nation in Las Vegas. This is Eden House, we call it, on Eden Avenue or whatever, uh, where I help organize all the trainings with AZD. You follow these accounts for AZD. He's got all the face tattoos, spitting wisdom. We clip up his talks and whatever, put it out there for you guys so that, you can discover him. I discovered him about 10 years ago on YouTube and Facebook. And it's been quite a journey, man, of truth. Just red pill upon red pill upon red pill of among all the subjects, really, game. I mean, he would say that he's not really teaching game, but that's the obvious billboard of everything he's doing. He's got multiple relationships. The guy with all the face tattoos and everything's got seven, eight girlfriends right now. He's had multiple hot girlfriends as long as I've known him. And his YouTube videos going back 16 years or so. I've met many of the girlfriends. I've been around, not really like shook their hands or whatever, but I've like been in the room with them. I've been at the house where he was staying in San Jose, and like they're real. I lived with him for 4.5 years, so I heard and saw the girlfriends coming and going. So it's like the real deal, like just a regular guy, 48 years old, who learned game like 18 years ago and has just been killing it, and he's been teaching it. And so that's what these accounts are for, even the YouTube accounts that this is streaming to. I'm Yogi Chris, captain of IMC Nation, his organization, and my website's imcbase1.com. So that's where all the curriculums, ebooks, and past trainings that AZD's done is on. So this stream, I was talking about Boy Scouts and what that taught me about game. Because I go to the grocery store this morning, I was telling AZD and all the guys, and there's girls in Boy Scouts now. That was different than when I was a Boy Scout. I'm 39, and so back in the day, I was hella Boy Scout. My dad was military, and I was brought up in a really good Boy Scout troop. Like real tight, sharp, like always won the competitions and whatever. It'd be like kind of like marching band. Marching band is like all dorks and whatever. But at the high level, marching band, those guys are beasts in their own way. Like they're sweating 12 hours a day, drumming on things, perfect alignment. Like they're marching, like it's like military training. And so Boy Scouts is like military training. So I was in that, but then there's girls in this, and I see the guy, there's a little like 12, 13-year-old kid that's in his Boy Scout uniform, and there's a girl that's in his Scouts. And it's like, man, they're losing all perspective of male, female. You know what I mean? What hope is there for that kid growing up, understanding the differences between men and women and how to do courtship and how to seduce a woman? He was in Boy Scouts with a woman, a girl, right? And the leaders, this or moms or whatever, what do they know about leading Boy Scouts and teaching a boy how to be a survivor, in the wilderness? Which is what Boy Scouts is. So they're soliciting for like donations. You want to donate for Scouts or whatever. And I end up donating whatever, a few dollars, but it's just like there's no exchange. The kids are being taught to panhandle and just ask for handouts. And that's what guys do with girls. They're asking for handouts. They don't even know the only value they think they offer is the money. Sometimes they might think, well, I'll offer like a home and a kid or whatever. Like, but every guy's offering her that. Every guy's gonna offer everything he can as far as a house and, his dick and his sperm so that she can have his kid. If she's fine, that's what the guy's offering. He may not be able to follow through. Now, so what's the difference between a man who offers and can follow through versus a man who offers and can't follow through? Well, that would be one is a liar and one isn't. And so when we talk about liar, we're talking about a person's character. So she's maybe partly evaluating what you're offering, and partly can you actually follow through with what you're offering, your character. At the end of the day, she's really evaluating your character because every guy is essentially offering the same thing, even if he doesn't know it. Protection, safety, security, a future, good dick. Like that's what the guy's offering the girl. In a general sense, it's not what IMC men are offering. We are offering that plus much more. Just the deepest and highest altitude guidance of a woman's mind starting in the present moment. It's not necessarily teaching her, it's just bringing her to presence. And through wit, intelligence, humor, emotional intelligence, also, just it's blissful when you have a great conversation with a girl because you're so aware that you're guiding her and leading her left and right, even if you're teaching her nothing. You are teaching her in just the process of being around her because you're just so much more advanced as a man. That's the IMC way, is just to be a very advanced, developed individual. So I'm at the front of this grocery store and these scouts, this Girl Scout and Boy Scout or whatever, soliciting for money. There's no exchange. I don't stand there and lecture them or whatever. So I'm making this video instead. Anybody that finds this that was like into Boy Scouts or whatever. Like I was a high level. I got to Life Scout right before 13 years old, which is incredible. Being part of a legitimate troop, not just like they're handing out badges. Like My dad was an Army Ranger and he was like assistant, like it was a legit troop. And and then I just got so into athletics, I fell off and didn't do anymore. But I was a high level scout for 3 or 4 years, just going intense in a great troop. And that kid's never going to get that experience. But for me, scouts helped me so much in life, primarily with just the idea of being prepared. That's like the motto. The motto you repeat 100,000 times in scouts is be prepared, be prepared. And it's like, as an adult and now working with AZD and IMC Nation, it's just straight ethics. Like, if you're not prepared, it's only on you. You may not have known, but that's still going to hold you. Whether you're prepared or not, doesn't matter if you didn't know or not. You could be prepared and not have known, and just randomly you're prepared because you happen to have what you need. Then it's fine. But if you didn't know you needed it and then you need it, it's still on you that you didn't do it or have it or you weren't prepared. And so that's a Boy Scout theme that was drilled into me that I see is lacking in guys. And that's just one of probably 100 examples of how being in a legit Boy Scout troop helped me later because you have to have your life together for game. Like, really, you're only going to fizzle. You're going to like a little spurt, like a little bottle rocket or something if you don't have your life together when you're learning game because you're just going to crash. You have to be very disciplined. It takes a long time and a lot of exposure to the field, going out, meeting a lot of people, talking to a lot of people, being around the coach. It takes a lot of time to completely transform your character and your habits. And that's what it's going to take to get the women that you want. You got to be immaculate in your communication, certain of yourself and what you're doing in life. And it really, so much of it relates back to how you make your money, what's your business, and what's your spiritual ideas, how integrated are your ideas about the world, where you're taking the woman and leading her. That's like a whole, you have a philosophy and it's probably just garbage and really scattered. If somebody was to sit down and ask you, you would dead end after like 30 seconds. You wouldn't even know what to say about what's your philosophy about women and dating and your role. It's not thought out. You haven't thought it out yet. So exchange is so a part of that. The Boy Scouts, for me, we didn't do fundraisers like that where we just panhandle it. We would do car washes, we would do park cleanups, we would do something where you exchange with the person so that they pay you. They may tip you more than it's worth, but at least you're doing something that is worthy of something. And that's exchange. That's what you're doing with the girl. Like, what are you offering? The pleasure, the fun, the laughter, the good vibes, and then the safety and security and the feeling, really just the experience of being around an alpha male that's above her, a man that's better than her and knows it, but also knows how to communicate with her. So he's not just like talking down to her all the time like that. He is talking down to her, but more in a respectful way that's not like beating her down. It's just knowing you're better. And and I mean, there's 1,000 calibrations with that. That's where you learn from AZD. That's where you gotta learn. You guys gotta learn from AZD. And the best free way is just on the newsletter. He doesn't have that much content online. He has personal Instagram, personal TikTok. I recommend going to that. It's a whole education in itself because it takes a lot to keep up with. He posts so much. But and then like to really look at it and see the context, what's happening? Because he's posting his girlfriends, he's posting just him in the mirror, like, but that's a player that has seven, eight, nine girlfriends consistently. So he's like, he's posing or he's modeling in his way. And his way, if you just look at it, it's not like a male model. He's modeling as like a lion taking a photo, if there was such a thing. So there's a whole education to look at his personal stuff, but there's not much in the way of like real education on those. There's our business accounts, like these YouTubes and Instagrams, they have clips. And some people think they're getting educated on that. They are probably because they just don't know anything. But it's just so fragmented. It's all over the place. They're just clips that are like 15, 30-second clips that you could get a truth out of it because that's what it is. It's a clip. But it's scattered, man. You're not going to change your destiny with just a little soundbite or a little piece of information. Ultimately, you have to come in person. The only way to really master game is to live in Vegas with AZD, to live wherever AZD is. And then the only way to really get a reference of game, what is real game, is to come in person. You won't even know what game is. You think you might know. You see some cheeseball pickup coach or dating coach that has infield videos. That is terrible. Approaching ugly girls, 1,000 of them. You don't see the 1,000 fails, just shitting on their reputation wherever they are. That's why they never last. Have you ever noticed dating coaches don't last in the dating field for more than like 3 or 4 years, max, if they were persistent? The top dating coaches do, like Mystery or whatever, but they're not, first of all, they're not putting out infield videos like that. Second of all, they're famous. They've been at it for 30 years, so they have a following. If they never get out of the game, they'll always have somebody who wants to learn from them. That's putting in your time. You do something for 30 years, you better be really good. But, and he was really good after like 10, 15 years. So, I mean, he's the greatest at pickup. But it's just pickup dead ends. What are you going to do when you get the girl? You got to have a relationship with her. It's beyond pickup, beyond game. That's where all those game coaches, they're lost. They're chasing pussy and they found a little way to get a little bit ahead. And so they think that they can teach the world and they're ruining a lot of guys' lives. And it's my responsibility, my ethics to put it out there so that they know there's something better. The best in the world is AZD just by number of girlfriends, quality of girlfriends, or let's just start with quality of girlfriends, number of the quality of girlfriends, and the number of years with the number of girlfriends of a certain quality. It's just by compounding. It's like 10,000 times greater than the next best coach. You got to look around. Unless you want to play the game of $10 million yacht and hire a bunch of models and, $1 million of alcohol, and at the end of the party, you're the host. And so, of course, some of them are going to want to fuck you. If you have anything going for you, you could be just the worst ever. Just philanthropically putting that all together, some girls are going to want to fuck you. So that level of game is go and make a lot of money and then spend it all to get a woman. Versus this level of game is sacrifice everything in exchange for the kind of character that even the rich guy's girlfriend will crave you. But your girlfriend is not going to crave the rich guy. She might crave the money, but not the guy. And that's a huge distinction. I don't even know if I can emphasize it more than that. I know AZD is about to go live on TikTok any minute now, so I want to make sure I catch the front end of it. If there's any of you that have any questions or something, it looks like he's about to start, perhaps. So I'm going to tap into that. Go to imcbase1.com. What I learned about Boy Scouts, or what I learned about game from Boy Scouts was exchange, being prepared, you're responsible for it. And men and women are different, man. Girl Scouts are not the same thing as Boy Scouts. Boy Scouts of America should be embarrassed of yourself. Totally embarrass yourself. If I'm make it, because it's not my purpose to lead scouts, but if I make it financially, I will create something else than Boy Scouts of America. I'll call it, I don't know, the new Boy Scouts of America. MAGA, make Boy Scouts of America great again. And I'll take all the flack for it, and I'll make it a private organization that they can hate on it all they want, and we'll start in Vegas. And whatever, we just need some students that are dads that want to teach scouts, and that'll happen. So it's my mission to get the word out, grow the accounts, get 1 million students on. Out of 1 million students, there's going to be 10, 20, 30,000 of them that are dads, no problem. That how many of them are interested in scouts? Let's go. Let's create a new scouts movement. And once we show that we're better, we'll copy. We'll just take the entire old Boy Scout manual. We don't need to remake the whole thing and change the words around or whatever. So the future is ours if we create it. We just need messengers, a lot of messengers that can get their expression out. I got a lot to say about academia. I have a PhD and a master's degree. I can tell you a lot about school and the curse of that and benefits, but I can tell you the reality of it. And as a man, because we're all in context to game, I'm learning from AZD, the top player on earth. This is in context to that thing that will break you. No matter how successful you are and famous and whatever, you get in a relationship with a woman, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. You're a kindergartner. You're a caveman when it comes to relationships. You have no philosophy, no integration about what you're doing with the woman. You're just mirroring and mimicking what mom and dad did before you, and they're doing the same, and they're doing the same, and they're doing the same. It just goes back to being a peasant on a European fiefdom or something. That was your rights as a married person, and that's what everybody's mimicking, not knowing it. There's a new era of how men and women relate, and starts by recreating a society within the realm of masculinity, how men relate with men and how men relate with women. And what AZD is teaching is that. So go to imcbase1.com, check out the free newsletter. There's over 66 pieces of content from AZD that you won't find anywhere else on the internet. And right now, Simba is creating 38 new pieces. We got him some new content. He's making the emails right now. Should be done in a few days. So there'll be another 40 pieces of content that you won't find anywhere from AZD teaching mindset and game and some other things, like just some other things. But all you just click it from your email and it's free. And you learn, you educate yourself, and you see if you like it because you will be called to do more training. But go and grab 100 free pieces of content. Every other day you get an email and let it change you. Let it improve your life. This is not fake sugar. This is the real nourishment of your game and your life, your personality. Okay, everybody, I'm going to TikTok. AZD IMC official should be going live soon. And check out the newsletter. IMCbase1.com is the website. Os.